Good afternoon. Okay, so I got my mic going on. I took a little bit of time to connect it, but we're here. And I got my cafecito. Okay, first of all, let me just say how we went out to eat, and me and my son and which was very like just spontaneous, like let's go out to eat. And we went to eat, and we're driving by, and I've been keeping my eye on Dutch Bros, this certain location, because they just opened one in Cathedral City. And I was like, you know what? I am gonna keep an eye on it. And I'm just driving by, and I was like, why does it have this big sign that says now open? And your girl busts a U-turn, and honey, it's the first day. I'm talking about news media's there. The girls are hyped. They're in like their cute costume, like little cowgirls. They're a vibe. I'm just loving it. So it's pretty cool because the girl that was taking care of me, we were just sitting there conversating while they were making my coffee. And like, she was talking about how like they flew her out here to train the other employees. And I thought that was so cool. And she was like, I love it down here. It was just a vibe. It was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But I'm halfways. And then I did pick up my children early from school today. And I don't know why I'm informing you guys about all this. I've just been... This is like my second cup of coffee. I know it's... Listen, I got a problem with coffee, okay? Am I working on it? Yes, I'm allowing. And then this eyelash is coming off. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's because I have been like just working with my eyelashes, like I'm so used to putting the strips on that I know the clusters are originally more easier and stuff, and they do last, but how? I'm learning how to get used to them because I'm not used to them. I like them on top, under, I don't know. Anyways, back on topic. So this is a little update, life update. And you know what? This is pretty much me and the camera talking, because a lot of the times I don't know, this is just something that I have been really working on. Just my YouTube has been so inconsistent, and I really like it. And then I just kind of completely just like fall off. I don't want to say fall off because I've never been on, but I love the fact that like it's one of my favorite things like to do is just pick up the camera and have a conversation, because a lot of the times when I have free time, it's like, let me just conversate. Anyways, so I'm all over the place, and I really love this. Like, I love the sitting down, and I used to do this all the time. You know, one thing I do regret is just a random conversation with just myself is I regret deleting every video that I had previous, regarding like the topics, like drinking as a Christian, cussing as a Christian, like all that, right? Because it was something that I genuinely love to talk about. And I feel like I need to kind of get in the rhythm and set a schedule up for myself and really be consistent. Because your girl lacks consistency, and it shows. Honey, I need to get back into that workout gym of mine and start working out, because El Cafecito has won again. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and just turn on the camera and be myself, girl, because life has been a trip. And I was outside right now watering my cactuses, which I love. I feel like they remind me of just, I don't know, my childhood. My mom loved like the deditos. She liked more succulents, but cactuses are really resistant. I love the meaning. I love the representation of a cactus. So I just hope, because I can manage to kill a cactus, honey. Trust me, which is, you know, weird, because I get cactuses. I'm like, how the heck do I manage how to kill a cactus? But I'm the one. I'm your girl. But okay. So I overwater them. That's really the truth. And I need to just chill and step back, because these things are expensive, honey. We went to go get some and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, okay, how do I maintenance these? Like, how many times do I water? Thank God that the guy was like 2 times out of the week, maybe, just because it was like the summer. Once it's cooling down, it's like less, but which they're growing. Thank you, Lord. I was sitting there drinking my cafecito, and I'm like, my heart, if you can see it, it's going like this, right? And I was like watering them, and then I see the rainbow, and I was just like, man, that is so beautiful how when you water it, you know, you're with the manguera and you're like letting the water come out, like the light reflects on it and you see the rainbow. And it just really just brought like man, like the promise of the Lord is going to be there. We just have to kind of change the perspective of the way we look at things and let the light shine, right? To be able to have that perspective that God is a God that never changes. Okay. Like he is forever the same. We are the ones that change in feelings, attitudes, ideas. We are the ones that are constantly changing. And, it kind of sucks, to be honest, because I'm like, I love change, girl. Like there is something like I love changing my hair. And if you come to my house, like every 3 months, it's flipped all different ways. And I genuinely ask myself this question, like, and maybe I'm being a little vulnerable now, but I asked my hairstylist, like, is there a problem with me because I dye my hair this many times? And it's drastic. It's like from light pink to like, I want black to now I want brown to I want highlights to I'm thinking I want blonde, but blonde has never been my, like, it'll never be my expertise. I feel like it washes me out. And so I like to stay with random different colors, right? When I would do my own hair, girl, I would have like bright green, bright blue, but I was damaging my hair. And now I am in the era where it's like, I want to let my hair grow. I want it healthy. I want to be an old viejita that like braids her hair all the way to the back with gray hair if it's possible. Like I just want hair. And obviously that takes just self-control and not going and cutting it every summer, because I also have that problem. It's just like, no, you just like new things, right? And so I have been even asking the Lord in prayer, like, is there something wrong with me? Lord, show me, reveal. He's like, girl, I'm just kidding. No, he's just been like, seasons change, right? Things change constantly. They're constantly changing. And I feel I'm a very expressive person, and I want to express that in as the seasons change. And I love this part of the song where I think Kanye says, like, I bleached my hair I think he says something in between these lines, like, I bleach my hair every time that I've like could have died, like, and vibe, because that is exactly how like when you see like a bright color on me, like now I feel like I've calmed down, but in the previous, it was like I was like trying to like distract myself and then dye my hair. I don't touch my hair anymore. So thank God I've been on like a 2-year cleanse of not touching my hair. I think I can go say 2 years. So that's process. I mean, that's progress. It's a process. It was a process for me because I was going crazy, but I learned how to like just kind of do other things, right? And just learn how to just leave my hair. My goal now is learning how to leave my hair alone. Like, and it's so hard. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. Like she's my friend. She's my sister in Christ too. She like texts me just to check up on me. And I'm like, just sitting there like, okay, I just got done saying I'm going to let my hair naturally grow out. I'm going to rock my natural hair, even if it's with the grays. Like, I'm so ready for this. Like, yeah. And she texts me like, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got a crazy idea because you text me. Like, what do you think about blonde? And she's just kind of like, I love her because she is the only one that literally can put up with my crazy ways. And you got to stick with your community that literally like, I'm telling you, honey, like the ones that go through it with you and love you for who you are and how crazy you are. Like this was, I told her, please don't kill me. And that was her response, because from going to like dark blue to this is like this was the inspo picture I gave her. I don't even know if you can really pick it up, but you guys see the brown. It's like literally a mocha color. It was crazy, and she thought it was crazy, but it's just like, it's fun to do things with you and it's fun to try it. So it's kind of like we both work for each other, and I love her. And so, yeah, I'm just embracing it instead of really questioning like, what is wrong with me that I want to dye my hair all the time, right? Like, and there's just sometimes you just want to be expressive. I don't know how I got to this, but watering the cactuses, like, I just got a perspective of just life, like where I was at. I want to say like 3-4 years ago. I will never not forget and never stop talking about that moment in my life, because it was very, very like a pivotal moment in my life where it was kind of like, okay, girl, you like come back to the Lord or this is it. Like I want to almost even think of like Hercules when they cut the line of life they just cut it and it's it. Like, I literally felt that so heavy in my life where the decisions that I was making, the things I was doing, like, were just crazy. And I try to put myself in 2020, 2021, 2022. I try to put myself back, like, in that time, like, put myself back in those shoes. And I'm just kind of like, dang, girl, like, it was so clear, and yet you ignored all the signs. You did not pay attention. You were walking in your emotions. You were leaning on your own understanding. And even in that rebelliousness of mine, like, the Lord was still speaking very loud, like, very loud in my life to, like, turn around, stop, repent, what you're doing, it's crazy, like, turn around, you know. And in that, I found an excuse to live comfortably. And I would just tell myself, well, I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, you know, I'm not going to go to church. I'm not going to do this because I know I'm in sin. I know that I'm, like, the decisions that I've been taking are obviously not of the Lord. So why would he even want me? Right? Like, why is it? And as much as I want to sit there and say, well, at least you're a child that knows that's doing something bad. I want to say that the relationship with me and God was not really, like, tight, to be honest. Like, I want to say, like, I loved him. I experienced him, and it was real, right? Like, I can sit here and say it was real, but after everything happened and, like, all my life hit the fan and I have literally been humbled, I have a whole different perspective. I feel like, what's his name? Nebuchadnezzar? Was it Nebuchadnezzar? When he came back to his senses and was like, huh? Like, there's only one king. There's only one, like, there's only one meaning to life. There's only one thing. Like, what the heck? Like, and the enemy is, I don't want to say the enemy. You know that dude? We blame too much on that man. But I want to just sit here and say, like, a lot of the stuff, it's my own decisions that I literally decided to be in that instead of really, really removing myself from the equation and just allowing the Lord to just fix whatever he needed to fix. So, yeah, I'm just all over the place, huh? It was crazy. And there is so much still unsaid. I feel like so many things that, like, tea, girl, like, I just want to spill the tea, right? Like, and a lot of the times it holds me back because I feel like, first of all, like, maturity, when you hit maturity, it comes to a point where you actually really have talked with the Lord and you really released it. You've allowed it to just let it be. But then there's sometimes in my mind where it's like, well, shouldn't I share that because it'll help somebody else or it's beneficial for somebody else to know? And maybe, yes, right, like, there's the ways to doing it, but then it's like, girl, sometimes I just want to share stories of my past and I'm like, that has too much detail, or that is like, how can I say that without saying a name? And then, like, people getting upset at you, right? But yeah, I don't even know what I'm ranting about. I just ranted for 13 minutes and I'm like, what was my topic of coming on here? Just life, girl. Like, literally just the way that life can turn it around. Life can turn it around, but the Lord can turn it around to a point where it's just like, oh my gosh. Like, I was in my daughter's room recording videos like this, just talking about the Lord, reading my word, why we shouldn't be cussing and why we shouldn't be drinking, and just so many topics that I felt like were very, in the moment, they were true to me, right? Like, I was living them, but the enemy, I don't want to say the enemy. I can't stand blaming people. I hate that. Like, I can't stand when people blame some other, like, when my kids come and tell on each other and they're blaming each other, it's like, no, you got to take accountability, right? So I love taking accountability. That's one thing that I've definitely matured in, where it's just like, first of all, I was very immature, right? So when you're immature, it's kind of hard to take accountability because you really truly don't see where you're going. What are you doing wrong, right? In a relationship, in a marriage, whatever. It's always like, but they're doing this and they did this and da, da, da. And the whole focus of Alicia should have been, the Lord. Do not take your eyes off of the Lord. The Lord is doing this for a reason. He's working something that's inside of you, and he's just using your spouse or certain people, right, to like bring this up to the surface for you to see like, oh dang, right? And that's hard to do. Like really asking the Lord, Lord, purify my heart. And then all the ugly comes up and it surfaces up and it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm capable of that. Like, oh my gosh, how was I, dare I? Like all the ugly comes up, and it's kind of hard to face the ugly in oneself. Like, I mean, it was for me, and it still is. I'm not going to sit here and be like, girl, sometimes I'm going to be honest. Okay. I'd be having some dreams and I'm like, there's no way I was capable of doing that. Like, there's no way, like, no. And there is some dreams that in my dream, I'm like, girl, like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm still sticking to what Alicia, the awake Alicia would be doing. And there's some dreams that I'm like, there's no way. Like, and then, so then I'm asking the Lord, like, is this in me? Is this something that I really have to work in my personal life? Like when it's brought down to like the test, like, would I be really able to pass that? Or would I throw it all, like just things, right? And it's a real eye opener. And I love dreams because the Lord, that is like our communication, like prayer and reading of the word is like the real communication. But I feel like when you're like, God is trying to give you those like PS moments, like it's in a dream. And it's crazy because God has revealed things like, I don't want to go into detail, but let me see if I can like turn it around, right? So I wanted answers, and I know that I wasn't tripping, girl. Like I was like, I know I'm not tripping. Like, okay, Lord, like you see me lose my mind for like 5 years trying to come up with this evidence, like, and it still hasn't come about. So I go to sleep. I have this dream and it was so vivid. Like I'm talking about in real time. I wake up and in my dream, the evidence that I was looking for was hidden on my side of the drawer, whatever. I go, I get it. So I wake up, right? Because I wake up with it in my hands. So when I wake up from my dream, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, like, that was so weird. And I don't know what in my mind was like, go check, girl. I went and hunty, I was tripping out because I was like, it was here. The evidence was here. And I was just like mind blown. And I feel like when you have those moments, you're just almost break down because you're like, this was the Lord. And I don't care what anybody tells me. There is no shadow, no doubt, no nothing that you can move me that this was not the Lord, because I just got done asking the Lord. And yeah, and so I love dreams. And one thing I always tell my kids, like, honey, let me tell you, like, you guys can keep things away from me, but just know that the Lord eventually, I'm just sitting here and it's going to come on my lap. And I didn't ask for it. There's sometimes I do ask for it. And there's sometimes that I didn't even ask for it. And he'll bring it right here to my lap. And I'm like, thank you, Lord, because he's a real one. He will always look out for you. Like, if you genuinely, like, just ask the Lord, put him first in the problem or in the situation or whatever it is that you want, whether that's if you're dating or if you're trying to date your children, your husband, your work, your friends, like places you should go, the Lord's going to give you your answers. Like, I just genuinely 100% believe that, because he's done it for me. And I know I'm special, but we're all special to him. Like, we're all his children. And I really do believe like God looks out for his children like that, right? And he's seen, like I said, I was going crazy for 5 years trying to get this info. And like in the time I can sit here and say like, he had a little bit of mercy on me because I didn't deserve those answers. I didn't deserve it, but he still revealed it to me. And I appreciated it because I was like, man, Lord, you are a real one. And I love that. And I think this is why, like, my relationship with him, I don't ever want to sit here and say like, it was just like religiously. I don't want to say that, but I made it religious, right? I made it to a point where if I wanted to satisfy God, I had to be doing something for him. Like, I either had to be working in the children's, I had to be buying stuff for the nursery. I had to do all this, right? And I had to be at this discipleship, and I had to be over here, and I had to, because this is like my way of showing the Lord that you love him. And it's like, was so far off thinking. And I think, right, like that's probably something that I naturally do even in my like earthly relationships. Like I show them that I love them by like doing things for them, right? Like I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm bringing something to the table or whatever it is, right? And I got it mixed up with the Lord, because the Lord loves me even when I was yet a sinner, when I was like cursing him. I know this video is a little lengthy already. It's already going on 20 minutes, but it's like, girl, I used to be like this as a teenager, literally looking up voodoo. I would be like, how do I stay here and like literally just deny everything and sell my soul? Like it was just so, I think it was loneliness. I want to be accepted. I was crying out for help. And I think that was my last resort. So girl, I turned to some rock. I started like listening to the music and I was like, yeah, like, heck yeah. Like not even understanding or even knowing what the doors that I was opening. I had no clue. I was so naive. I was so dumb. But in my mind, I was set to like, I want to sell my soul. Like, I don't want nothing to do with the God that made me, because if you made me, you put me in this situation and I'm always crying out to you. And like, I know you're here, but you never changed like the circumstance. This is when I was a child, right? Like, then you're probably not my father. Let me go and try to consult this father, right? Which is so crazy now to say that. And I'm like, oh Lord, forgive me. Like, oh Jesus, like, it just breaks my heart that I was so broken at such a young age. I want to say middle school, that I was doing this in my room, like learning certain stars, learning pentacles, just the craziest things. And thank God that like, obviously like my mom definitely noticed there was something off with me for sure. And it was random because one of my friends invited me to church, and this was when I was like 16. It was definitely around 15, maybe like 14, 15, right? And it's just, I went to like this, I don't know, it was like a young adults like retreat. And I was so freaked out because like, you know, they had like this beautiful demonstration, and I'll never forget, like they had mirrors, right, under everybody's seat. And we seen it when we originally came and we sat there, and I went with one of my middle school friends. Her name's Lorena. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that girl. And, I don't know how, right? It had to be someone she knew, but she took us to her church, and we went to this convention. And I know, like, I don't know if they paid my way. I don't know how, but definitely the Lord made a way, because I wasn't trying to go. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. The only fun part about it is that she was going to be there, right? And it was going to be girls' time. Like, yes. And it's so funny because I was like this, like, punker, like, emo, gothic. I don't want to say emo. I was like gothic, dark child trying to really, like, think or, like, expose myself to this, like, worshiping the devil type, right? And my friends were like cholitas, like really cute, skinny, you know. It was so funny because it was just so opposite, but the Lord like made a way for it. So I went to this church, and they had mirrors under every chair, and I was tripped out, right? And I'm like, I was raised in Seventh Adventist, so I was open to it. I was like, okay, you know, like if this is my answer, because I was crying out for an answer, like, let's keep that in mind. Like, I was like, I wanted God to really show me, you know. And it was cool. It was all right. It was a Spanish service, and I was like, all right, you know, like I couldn't keep my tears in. Like, I remember like here and there, like they would just come up, and they're like, okay, turn around and like pick up the mirror that's under your chair. And I don't know if it was my mirror, or, you know, I don't know, but there's just look at yourself, right? And I looked at myself, and my mirror was literally cracked halfways, and I was like, it was just broken like in half. And I started crying. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is my sign. My mirror's broken. Like, but then in my mind, I was like, no, they did this on purpose. Like, they're just trying to sit here and like let me think that like I'm broken in half. Like, man, these people, like, they thought they were slick. So I put my mirror back down, and girl, I don't know. Like I said, it was such a weird night. Like, I looked back under just to see, And girl, my mirror was not broken. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, when I held it up, it was cracked in half. Like, I was a broken individual. And I think the Lord was trying to tell me, girl, you're broken. So they had like a dad, a mom, a cousin, an aunt, cousins, just people standing. I think they were like from the church, like just parents, you know, volunteering. And they're like, whoever hurt you, like, we want you to go to the altar and like, just forgive, you know, let it go. And I don't know if I went up there. I think because I was following my friend. So I don't think she went up there. So I didn't go up there. And they're like, all right. They had like black plastic all over the bottom of the floor. And I was like, what the heck? So then they started talking about like, okay, we're going to start prayer and just start releasing and letting, and things are going to, I don't know. They said something amongst those lines, like things are about to get weird. And, I was just kind of like, okay, still staying in my seat. And I don't know how, but there's a lot of people that went up, right? And I was in the corner because we were moving out of the way. So me and my friend moved out of the way, and somebody was praying for her. And like, she literally started throwing up. She started like, and I immediately got freaked out because I'm like, and this is how I'm like, I wasn't about that life, because when I started seeing her flip out and I started seeing them like pray for her, like, I was like, what are you guys doing to my friend? Like, I backed up and was crying. So yeah, I wasn't like all that. And I wasn't like as tough as I thought I was, because that freaks me out. And somebody came right behind me. She was like, you know, what did she tell me? She was like, calm down. She was like, that's just the devil. It's just the enemy. He wants you to think that we're hurting your friend, but she's just getting delivered. It's okay. Like, and I was just like, ooh, get me out of here. Girl, we'll just tell you this, okay? It was insane, and it's just a blur, but I remember like just literally being on the floor. I had people praying for me, and if you know, you know. I know this is gonna sound crazy, for sure. It's gonna sound super crazy to people, like, what the heck, girl? And it did, because I never went back after that. But I had, well, okay, let me just tell the story. So I don't know, I was on the floor, girl, and there was like a deep voice coming out of me, like the pastor was like pretty much saying like, let her go, kind of like an exorcism. It's real, girl. Like, this is real. And I was like screaming like evil. I'm talking about, there was like, I want to say almost like 4 men holding me down, right? And one was like literally praying. The pastor was praying. I don't remember. And this is why I think freaked me out after, because I was so young and I was just so like, I had no clue. My parents aren't here. I don't know what's going on. How the heck do I not remember how I knocked out, right? Like, it was just such a blur that I don't even know how I made it to my room, because it was a retreat, and it was like bunk beds. I remember the rooms were like 2 bunk beds. So 4 girls were in one room, and I don't remember how I got there, but I remember I was crying. And like, I do remember when the pastor like put his hand on me, like I opened my eyes and I just said, I was like cussing him out. It was weird. Like a rage inside of me that was just like, I'm not going to let her go. Right. And that's what I kept saying. No, I'm not getting out. And then like, he was saying to leave her. So in Spanish. And I woke up so like refreshed the next morning. And then the girls that were in my room, they were like, you were crying all night. Like, we couldn't sleep. Like, you were crying all night. And I was like, that's weird, because I had the best sleep ever. And I genuinely did. So I don't recall half of this stuff. But like I said, I want to bring back to the, like, my main thing is that I was doodling and going through things and learning things that, like, I started walking around with voodoos on my, like, hanging, like African voodoos that I would find at thrift stores, like some weird things that did come my way. Right. And I literally was just all in, like, heck yeah, this is like, I want to learn everything. I want to be like this dark chick, and I don't want to just live by the aesthetic. Like, I want to feel the darkness, right? So I know it's crazy now thinking about it, but yeah. And after that, like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, I was excited. I felt like a new person. I was like, yeah, I'm so excited. I was like, I got to read my Bible for 5 minutes. I got to pray for 5 minutes. And there's another thing. I don't know, meditate. I don't know what it was, but it was 5-5-5, right? And yeah, I came back home to pretty much like nobody even like has experienced. And when I shared this, they're like, yeah, you're not going back to that church. You're crazy. And I was like, yeah. So I kind of fed into the fear and never made it back. Started partying, and girl, let me just tell you, things got worse. Like worse, because this is when, like, a little bit after I got pregnant, I met my baby dad. I became a mother at a very young age. I was in domestic violence. I don't even like saying domestic violence. Well, I'm learning to accept that, yes, that was a story, because no man should be putting his hands on you. But I would always like not want to be like, oh yeah, I'm being, like I'm in a domestic violence. Even when I was attending the classrooms and stuff, like I would never want to take away from another woman actually like getting burned, beat, and almost even killed, right? There's so many women that have been killed. Away from that I was just like, I hit back though. Like, it's okay. Like, I defend myself. I'm not, which is still very like wrong, very toxic. I think honestly, a little bit after I went to this church, two of my friends, right? They were my friends, but one was dating my brother and the other girl was dating my brother's best friend. And I used to like clean this boxing gym for community service, and that's where I met one of the girls, and they were just randomly looking for my brother and their boyfriend and they couldn't find them. And so then they're like, yeah, let's go here, and I'm like, oh, what is that? Me and my curious self, had to find out. We lied to the girl that like was hooking it up, period. She's like, I knew you were always on drugs. And I took so offense to that, because I'm like, what? By the way, they told me to lie to you because you wouldn't be a person that would contribute to someone's first time use. So, but it was so funny because when she was like, I knew it, you're always so skinny, and and I was just like, yeah, no, it was my first time. But that night I lost my complete marbles, bro. Like, I was tripping out so hard, and I told myself I was never ever going to do it again. And so then years, maybe like 2, 3, 4, a couple years after, I don't know exactly the years, but after my daughter got taken away, and then I literally was just, I wanted to numb myself. I wanted to just leave my body and just go somewhere else. And so that's when I redid that. And yeah, that time it was more scarier. Well, no, not that time. Because then it was time to like get my things right and get my ducks in a row, and the court wants certain things for you to get custody of your children back. So I was like, yeah, this got to go. It's not worth it, right? I just wanted to numb myself a little bit because I didn't want to feel this pain. And it was more a little bit after that. It was towards the end of like, I think my run, because I was like 19 barely. No, it's like 21. Yeah, no, I was 19 when I first went into the home. So I was so young, but I lived such a fast life trying to numb, and everything was happening so fast right after that I ended up at a women's home. And not because I wanted to change my life around, but, this time it was just more like, okay, I'm going to go, right? Like, I was already very addicted, and like, I don't know. I wanted to be in that lifestyle. I can't sit here and say I wanted to change. So I was just going to come just take advantage of a free place to stay until my welfare paycheck kicked in. And, yeah, though it was the best night's sleep. It literally took me back to that same sleep previous to that first ministry that I went to, that like I slept like a baby, and I didn't have I slept so peaceful. Like that night they prayed for me when I went into the women's home, and I went to sleep, and I woke up a different person, like completely different person. So I love the Victory Outreach Ministry. I really do love that ministry, because it was the only door that had the door open for me when I most needed it. And I didn't even know I needed it. I'm no longer in that ministry, but I appreciate everything that the Lord did in that ministry. Although I kind of fell into a religious spirit, because I started doing instead of really walking with the Lord. And I feel this time around, like he took that ministry away, and I was like, I was dying, girl. I was going through it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is part of me. Like I have this tattooed on my heart, and like no matter where I go, like I'll always be VO. And, and the Lord slowly had it like, girl, you're not serving a ministry. You're serving me. You have to know that, like, this is a relationship. Like, and I think he was trying to teach me this in COVID, and I rebelled to the fullest. Like, girl, let me tell you, I got saved in 2000. I know this is all over the place. I got saved in 2010. I got baptized all the way in 2019, 2020, like around COVID. And which was so weird because I'm like, there's so many times that I had the like, what is it? Like, oh, baptism. We would have the baptism, sign up. And with me, nothing, or I don't know what it was in me or what it was, but I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not until I know that I'm like in this for life, which was very crazy for me to say. Cause I'm like, what, girl? Like, you love the Lord. And I was, but I felt like behind closed doors, there was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of drinking. I was still smoking and puffing. I want to say maybe like 4 years into my marriage, after me and my husband, because, we were doing things the right way. We courtship for a year, we asked permission. We did everything that was asked, but there were some things that came up, right? That wasn't on our watch. It was, but we kind of had to like, I don't want to say hurry up and get married, but in a way it's like, I did not want to move in with my husband until we were married. Cause I know I would have got comfortable. It's like, cause I never wanted to get married. I was so afraid of marriage due to like, seeing my dad cheating on my mom at such a young age, like catching him in real time was just so detrimental to me that I was like, ugh. And I seen my mom like lay her life down for you. Like, so that had a lot. Girl, I had to work things out. I was not ready to get married because I had all that hurt that my father inflicted on just the family in general, that it came out while I was married. So, Lord, have mercy on my soul. And thank you for such an understanding husband. Because, girl, I should not be married right now. Because I just lived in this constant fear. And there's so much stuff that are good in details in between that I would love to share. But like I said, it has people's names in it, like involved. And I'm like, I don't want to. I just like to tell my story, right? And the stuff that I've did, and I take accountability, and I don't, there's just some stories that need the characters, like, my leaders, right? That we went under. I'm like, can I say that? He ended up like being disloyal, and this was like leaders up there, like, and I think this is what really impacted my walk, because I'm fresh. This is a leader, and I know we shouldn't be looking at people. I think I learned that the hard way. How do I say it? Like, so my leader ended up being unfaithful, and I get it. People make mistakes. Trust me. I know that now. Like, I get it, but it hurt me so much. And I was so afraid that I told my husband, and I cried that whole night when I found out that this is what had happened. I cried, and I told my husband, like, you're next. Like, and I lived in this fear of it. And he's just like, and we just got married, right? But within time, like, I just kind of like, just chill. That's fear. Get rid of it. A lot of the, like, just like marriage retreats and counseling, like, kind of helped, but it really eventually came out towards like I want to say maybe around 5-8 years of my marriage, 9-10, that's when it popped off. So yeah, there's just so many things that go plugged into the story. And when I got baptized, I know, going back to when I first got baptized, like, I was just like, okay, I think I'm ready. I was fasting. I was reading my word. I was so excited. I was like, okay, this is going to be like the time. This is going to be like when I get baptized, that's a wrap. Like, I'm not going back. I'm not doing anything. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I get baptized. I believe it was like, I think it's on my Instagram, like the first main post, which was, I believe, and girl, let me tell you, okay, I just learned this, and it might sound crazy. I'm already going over the hour. It might sound crazy, but I was listening to this preaching, and it was talking about how when Jesus got baptized, he went into the desert, he was fasting, and then he got tested by the devil, right? So I kind of did it backwards almost because I fasted before I got, and I'm not saying this should be a certain way. I just like tripping out on little things like that, right? Where like Jesus got baptized, then he fasted for 40 days. He went to the desert, and that's where Satan literally like tested or tried him, right? And he fought him with the word. I was fasting before, and then without me even knowing, because in the moment, I just came to the realization like a year ago of this, just everything that I'm telling you guys right now. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was so naive. I was looking through my Instagram and I was just like, dude, you got baptized on this day. And after that, I'm telling you, I feel like a little thing that just got flicked up in the air, like just tossed, and my faith and everything just got. So it was 2020, October 17th, 2020. I got baptized, girl. After this video, I started drinking. I started smoking. It was insane. It was insanity because I kind of went back, and then my life definitely was just a wreck after that. And it was so crazy because in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to get baptized until I know like I'm going to serve the Lord. But it's kind of crazy how stupid and naive that was, because it's like, we're always going to fail. Like, we're people, we make mistakes. And I'm not saying to the capacity of my mistake, because my mistake was huge. Like, it was like, I don't want to say it was huge because I learned from it. So I hate saying like, oh, I wish I never did that, because I needed that to learn, unfortunately. And yeah, more like a terca, more like, you know, I'm not proud of it. Of course I'm not proud of it. That hurts me, and I'm still paying repercussions till this day for that lesson, because I don't want to ever say a loss, baby. It's lessons over here. And that lesson really, really taught me, like, I had so much like issues. Like, I expected my husband to treat me, and like, there's just so many things, girl. Like, I one day, like I said, I really want to get to the depths of this conversation, because I expected my husband to just like, and although my husband is such an attentive person, right? But when I was drinking, it was like demon time turned on. Like, it was evil, and I can take accountability for that. And vice versa. There was a lot of stuff too that, you know, my eyes should have been focused on the Lord and not my husband. And, you know, things happen within marriages, like, where it's just like, we really have to, now I can sit here and tell you, and I'm hoping, right? I always I watch my mouth and what I say. Like, Lord, I continue to pray that you will still be my husband, that you'll be my everything, and that, like, if, and it will, life gets shaken up, like, I want to keep my eyes focused on you. Like, I want to know that no matter what I go through, it's a lesson you're trying to teach me, and I don't want to, like, keep my eyes focused. I want to just be still and know that God is doing this. And I love this poster. Well, it's like a picture frame thing that I have right here. It says, be still and know. And it has Jesus walking with one sheep. And that's all I need. Like, the world can get so crazy, and our emotions as women sometimes can get so crazy, and I just need to be still. Like, stop, take a seat, and know and understand that God has everything in control. And so after, you know, the separation, me and my husband separated and stuff, like, I don't know how God brought it back together. I don't know how to tell you, girl. Like, we will sit here and be like, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it was God. And when there is that, but God, it's a game changer. And that brings me to tears, because it was like, when we think that, it takes me back to from when I was young, like when I really thought like I was ready to serve Satan, and I wanted to be the Satanist and just serve the devil, which sounds insane, Lord. Like, ugh. It's the same when I was like, I'm so ready to leave my marriage. Like, I am so done. What we think is good for us is not, that's not it. Like, but the Lord is still faithful to show himself, to open the doors, right? For him to come in to show you, this is what's going to happen, and this is how it's going to go down. And I am in all power, all controlling. I'm faithful, and I'm never, ever going to change. And honey, this is what, like, if you ever see me on Instagram, I deleted my TikTok because, well, I got another TikTok. So, but I deleted it because I just feel like, how do I say it? It's so easy to get distracted, right? And the, like, I don't know. I'm a person that I'm okay with just posting. Like, I've never have been popular. I've always sat alone, maybe one friend, two friends. Like, I don't ever consider myself the popular girl. When I was in my drinking days, my party girls, that's when I was just, it wasn't even popular. I was just screaming for attention, and whoever gave it to me was like, yay, party, right? But I don't want to sit, with the world. I want to sit at tables where girls really, really love you, and they pray for you, and they intercede for you, and they're just like, they see the potential that you're a daughter of the Most High, and they like want to just like lift that up to the highest and remind a woman that that's my type of girl. And it is hard to find out here, and I keep praying for my friends. Like, Lord, I pray, first of all, I keep praying for the friends that I have back then, or that are unsaved. I pray for them because it would be such a beautiful thing for them to be saved, right? And I constantly keep them in my prayer boards. And I pray for friends, right? Like Christian friends. And I was tripping out the other day because I was like, Lord, I want to, I want my friend to look like this. Not like look, but to be like this and this and that. I want her to be a fashionista. I want her to help me, like, put me up games, like, where we can be modest together. We can be on, like, go to the gym. She can come over. Like, I'm praying detail by detail what I want my friend. And it just tripped me out of nowhere where I was like, oh my gosh, one day I get to tell her, I prayed for you, girl. I prayed for you. And it's so beautiful because you can do that with any relationship, and the Lord is faithful. He'll eventually bring someone in. He just has to see us, kind of put him first in everything, right? Because sometimes we just want that company, we want that friend, and the Lord's like, hello, I am. So I might look a delusional girl, even crazy sometimes when I'm in the car and I'm like, what do you think about that, Jesus? Yeah, you see that? Oh, Lord. Or I'll be like road raging, like, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I know that's your child, but sometimes you'll be making some dumb children. Like, really? Like, and I know it's a friendship though. Like, I can be myself around him and no one's, oh my gosh, that's not, I have respect for my king. Trust me. When the Lord speaks the way he did to Job, it's kind of like, I don't even want to say another word. But when he knows me as just me, like, I don't think he's like, oh my gosh, like, how dare you talk to me like that? Like, he's like, ay, mija, estás loca. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? The Twilight loca. But I had a blast sitting here talking to you guys for almost 50 minutes. We're going on 50 minutes, but I want to get back to doing this, just sitting down. I honestly feel like when I'm trying to vlog, it's just so hard because it's like, girl, I gotta cook. I gotta get this done. I don't have time to show them. I'm sure if you guys want to learn, you guys can go on TikTok. Like, everything's on TikTok. How to cook, how to do this, how to do that. Like, even if, like, I know I'm not popular, like, I'm okay with that. I genuinely am okay with this because this is like my diary that one day when I pass away, guess what? My children get to go on my YouTube and then just sit there and just look at me and be like, yeah, that was her. And I love that. I love that we have the privilege to have this type of, and whoever needs to come, even if it's just one person to come and just hear something. Like, I'm not like the teacher because the teacher is Jesus, but sharing my experience and just what I've gone through and like how the Lord has like just restored and like brought this back to life. It's amazing. It just leaves me dumbstruck, or what is that? Whatever that word is. I just feel like it's beautiful and the Lord is good all the time. And I used to hate saying that because it's like, good, it's great, it's all that. Because I felt like it was just such a religious thing to say. Yeah, God is good, it's all the time. And it's like, no, yeah, he's good all the time. I'm not good all the time. Like, so, I would not say it like, but God's good. So I think my son, I was hearing a phone ring and I had to stop because I'm like, what is that? But okay, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you guys. If you guys stood this long to hear this crazy story, I appreciate it. I changed like 5 times. Like, so today is what, Friday? And I have to start cleaning because behind the scenes, it ain't that clean. I mean, my house is, but not my room. So I got to put this coffee to the use. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Remember, stay blessed. And What was one of like my original sayings when I would close out? Stay prayed up. I felt like such a hypocrite using that again, because I'm not saying I wouldn't pray, but I just felt like, how do I say it? I let my guard down somewhere, right? And I definitely was just kind of like, man. And now I can say it again. Stay prayed up, because girl, over here, we're interceding, we're praying. Like, one thing that I feel like, and I think this is everybody's calling, right? It is everybody's calling. We all should be in communion and praying to the Lord. But it brings me joy when I just come into prayer and I'm lifting other people up, or maybe me. Sometimes I can just rant and then I have to just punch myself in the mouth and I'm like, I'm sorry, Lord. It's just, you're good. You're good. What am I sitting even here talking about me right now? Like, this is your time. But bringing people, like, prayer is, it's something else. It's special. It's like your magic, honestly. Like, that's how I feel. Like, prayer is just like that pixie dust that you just get to go around throwing everywhere and throwing on yourself, most importantly, for you to be able to like shine off to other people, right? That you literally carry the power of Jesus Christ inside of us. And that right there alone, girl, is just good enough to close this vlog. So I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I'm gonna edit this and try to post it up today. And I just hope you guys have a beautiful day, and don't forget, stay prayed up. Bye.